Hey, welcome back to Building Blocks for Mental Health, where as always, I empower you to to becoming the best version of yourself. So hey, let's chop it up, because today we're going to be talking about a subject that is near and dear to my heart, and I'm pretty sure that it is near and dear to a lot of your hearts. Today we are going to be unpacking the concept of how do we deal with disappointment. Life is certainly full of ups and downs, guys. And one of the toughest emotional hurdles that we face in life is how do we deal with disappointment, especially when it involves relationships. So it can be difficult to accept that some people will only like you under certain conditions. Some people will only respect you when it benefits them, and others will only include you as long as they can use you or they need something from you. These experiences can lead us feeling really depleted. I know I've certainly been there in life. It can leave you feeling really depleted, extremely hurt, undervalued, and I don't know, it can really do a mind trick on you to the point where you start questioning your own self-worth. But here's the thing, learning to manage disappointment is an important step in building emotional resilience. It's something that we just have to learn to do. And maintaining a strong sense of self, is another important concept of what we need to do. You got to know who you are, when it comes to managing disappointment, and have a good sense of who you are contributes to what you bring to the table. So today on this episode, I want to do a little bit of education around, well, what are some things that we need to do when it comes to preparing ourselves for managing disappointment? What are some things that we need to be a little bit more self-aware about, so that we don't ever put ourselves in any situations that we don't need to be in? So let's start with understanding the warning signs of conditional relationships, and let's have a little bit of a conversation about developing healthy coping strategies that can help us navigate these challenges that impact our confidence when it comes to managing disappointment. So here's the thing, warning signs. It's crucial to recognize the warning signs early to avoid being cut off by unhealthy relationships. So here are a few indicators to watch out for. Inconsistent people and their inconsistent behavior. So if somebody treats you well, but then when they need something from you, but then all of a sudden, they're distant or they're indifferent or otherwise when they don't need anything from you, that's a sign that their engagement might not be as genuine as we think it is. Another thing that we often see a lot is one-sided relationships or one-sided effort. So if you find yourself always on the other side of reaching out, you find yourself always on the forefront of offering help, you find yourself always on the front end of making sacrifices, but other people rarely, if at all, reciprocate, that could be an indication that the relationship is heavily unbalanced and somebody is not there for you in the way they need to be there for you. Conditional support. So when support and kindness are given with strings attached, or only when it benefits the other people involved, that could be a really good sign that somebody does not have your best interest involved. And conditional support, man, managing your disappointment around that's one that I see a lot in work-related relationships, where it's this vague, you've earned something. I always encourage people to think about, when you've busted your behind and you've worked hard, nobody gave you anything. You earned your promotion. You earned your raise. Because sometimes people will try to shape your mindset into thinking that they did you a favor, and there's some type of conditional support thing going on, and somebody is not being genuine with you. They're doing that as a means to manipulate you, y'all. Also be on the lookout for frequent letdowns. So if you notice a pattern of being disappointed by the same people, they never show up, they always late, they make promises, they make commitments that they never keep, it may be a time to reassess the value of that person's role in your life. Sometimes we got to learn to be okay with changing our environment so that we can change our experience. And here is another one, y'all. Lack of genuine interest, lack of genuine support. People who only engage when it aligns with their needs often show little genuine curiosity about your well-being or your goals. So who genuinely checks in on you? Who genuinely wants to know what's going on in your world and what's going on within your life? Lack of genuine interest, getting a little bit tongue-tied, can be a huge red flag, a huge warning sign that we need to be, cognizant of. That's telling us that something is not what it needs to be within this relationship, and can lead to a lot of different disappointment, a lot of resentment, a lot of confusion, and a lot of frustration when it comes to managing relationships. So how do we navigate these feelings of disappointment? Well, I think one of the first things we want to do is when we realize that somebody's presence in our life isn't as sincere as we hoped it to be, it's natural to feel hurt. Let's acknowledge that it's natural to even feel betrayed. But here are some things that we can do to manage those feelings effectively. Acknowledge it, y'all. We human. You got to learn to treat yourself with a little bit of grace. Allow yourself to feel disappointed, but don't dwell in self-blame. Recognize your emotion. Recognizing your emotions is the first step to moving forward. Learn to reframe the experience. So, sometimes what we need to do is, instead of focusing on the failure or instead of focusing on the loss, let's learn to see it as an opportunity to learn more about yourself, learn more about other people, or even learn more about life, and learn more about what you truly value in each and every situation, so that you can learn from it, you can grow from it, and continue to build into being this best version of yourself. Surround yourself with a council. Surround yourself with a council of genuine people. So seek relationships with those who appreciate you for who you are and not for what you can provide, because genuine connections will always bring fulfillment and mutual respect. Let's practice some self-compassion. Let's humanize ourselves. Let's remind yourself that your self-worth is not solely defined by how other people treat you. So let's make it a point to engage in self-care activities, and let's practice giving ourselves some positive affirmations to reinforce your sense of self. I am always telling myself, like, hey, let's go. You got this. I always tell myself you mean well. I always tell myself at the end of the day, always remember that you matter. So in conclusion, managing disappointment, it isn't about becoming guarded or cynical, y'all. It's about developing resilience and focusing your energy on relationships that nurture you, relationships that inspire you, and most certainly relationships that uplift you. By recognizing the warning signs and taking proactive steps, you empower yourself to build healthier and more fulfilling connections. So hey, I just want to encourage you all to stay true to yourself, and remember, your value is not determined by other people's willingness to see it. Keep growing, keep thriving, and invest in the relationship that you bring. Invest in the relationships that bring you genuine joy, authenticity, and respect. So once again, this is your guy, Jermaine Wright, checking in, sowing some love, sowing some light, sowing some life into you as I continue to empower you on this journey to building to becoming the best version of yourself. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share this, and don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you on the next episode of Building Blocks for Mental Health. See you soon.